¿qué pasa, joder? Uy, se me ha escapado ahí en suertecillo. Corre, 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 corre. Oh. Oh. Joder, no tarda ni nada. Mamá, en verdad estoy llenísimo de pelos y yo me tendría que pegar un duchadillo, ¿no? Que me he pegado a cenar y yo me estoy mirando la camiseta y estoy entero lleno de pelos, literalmente, ¿eh? ¿Tú quién eres?
Boy, am I ever so
Ah.
grateful to you, officer. But I'm not the only one who wants to thank you.
It's great to see you again, officer. My wife...
¿Qué me va a
Oh,
dar algo?
sweetie, I don't even know how to thank you for finding my husband and helping him out. I hope we haven't been too much trouble for you. Here, I want to give you a small token of my gratitude. It's a tie, Mexican origin. The pin is an antique, quite special.
The little silvery knob holding the tie together feels warm in your hand. It's in the shape of an avian skull with 8 eyes.
Pues... Nos han dado una corbata... Cosa más rara. Voluntariedad a voluntad. ¿Esto cómo se ve puesto? Cosa más rara ello. Esto te da retórica. Esto te da mundo interior y voluntad. Me suele apoyar, realmente me da igual lo que lleve, este se ve más épico, ¿no? Y el personaje mío es un amasijo de barbaridades puestas en una misma persona. ¿Y yo esto qué es, tío? En fin.
You think you have a pretty hot suspect right now, don't you? That ruby of yours? Notice how it came together without casting too much suspicion on Clasia. It was nice and ruby-centric in the end.
Huh.
Anything struck you a bit off about this mishmash? Notice how this hasn't come up at all. Even Hardy and his boys didn't mention it. Neither did you.
Huh.
Absolutely. It could have come from anywhere, but you're suddenly so certain it came from the roof behind the window. No, they didn't. That's right. Finish thought.
Huh.
Just finish it and conveniently go on. She's watching you leave right now. You know that. Free as a bird on that roof, lighting up a cigarette and thinking, am I glad Ruby's in this shit and not? Don't listen to this guy. The theory was solid. He's just jealous. Move on. It's no...
Habla con esto otra vez, a ver si tienen algo que decirme.
The Coppernado is back. What do you want? Yeah?
Vale.
Officer, it's a fine day for questions.
Calafrío.
Oh,
Did you take the document?
no, of course not. As I said, it would have been too risky for me to use those documents anyway. My employer gave them to me. In truth, I should have destroyed them. Yes, I am. Regardless of who took the document. It was probably just an accident. I was worried at being too careless with the latch. The documents were probably just washed away. I really don't know, sir. I certainly don't feel like I've won. I feel like shit, sir.
She smiles. A bitter little smile. She means it.
Clearly, I haven't. We're having this conversation, aren't we? How well could it have gone, I mean?
The snow falls on her shoulders.
I'm stuck in Martinez just like all of us. I've been up here for... I don't know how long now. For my sins, of course. The long-standing sins for destroying my first love. For working for bad people. The list goes on and on. Did I? Why do I still feel suspicion hanging over me then? What I managed was...
The lieutenant looks away, over the railing. He feels uncomfortable with this conversation. He doesn't know what to add.
I don't know what to say. None of this is fortuitous. The what? Oh, those ones. I don't know, sir. I said I have no idea what to make of them. I mean, there's no reason for me to think they're somehow connected to her.
She nods, slowly. There is suddenly a strange glint in her eyes. Not malicious, but dangerous.
Escalofríos. Hate. Hay bastante cosas que hay que hacer por mi propia cuenta, realmente. Ahora que me para pensarlo, tenemos muchas cosas que hacer por nuestra propia cuenta, ¿sabes? Así que nada.
The man ponders his cooking.
Vamos para afuera entonces. Vale. Sé de algo que podemos hacer ahora mismo. Creo que podemos hacerlo ahora mismo. Que venía el coche como tal.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and the...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist? Hold on. I've got Central Jamrock Public Library on the line, and I've already introduced you to their librarian. Connecting the call in.
Yes, this is Central Jamrock Public Library here. How can I help you, officer?
He sounds worried, yet ready to assist. This is how people get when the police call.
Billy Majon, you said. Give me a moment, I'll have to check our database.
On Moreau Drive in central Jamrock, in a darkened hall lit by orange desk lamps, far away from the noise outside, a middle-aged man taps commands into an old radio computer. A printout falls on the desk. Behind him...
Yes, hello, are you still there? I found Billy Majon's home address, is that alright? No phone number, unfortunately.
They're too poor to have a phone line.
Here we go, sir. Rue de Saint-Ghislain, 33B, apartment number 20. It's in Martinez, I believe. Cape Side Apartments, it says. That's all.
That's where the smoker on the balcony lives, isn't it?
Está 120.
It says here that they returned their last book just a few days ago, but I wasn't at work that day. Marie? Marie? Do you remember a reader named Billy Majon? They returned a Tybalt book the other day. Yes, it was my colleague Marie. She said that it was Billy's husband who returned the book. He also asked for this new sci-fi release, Lowe's Radio City 87.
Good. You have a name now.
Marie knows Billy. She's been working here longer than me. Sometimes her husband...
And then goes for a little drink later. On the...
Sorry, no. Marie only knows him by sight. Marie! She said it was an older man, and that she's pretty sure he'd had a drink or two the last time she saw him. 1 second. Sorry, Marie wasn't really paying any attention to that. Happy we could help. Goodbye.
Anything else you need from me? Just a moment.
10-4, come in, officer. 10-4, sir, glad to hear that. I'll write down that there is no need to...
Feels good to get that off your chest, right? Celebration with beer.
Roger that, 10-10, over and out.
Vale, voy a hacer una que otra quest que tenemos por ahí suelta.
Looking for something, Hunt?
You've got to be kidding me. What is this, detective? I promise you it isn't. Just please make it quick. I'll organize my notes in the meantime.
Let's get one thing straight. You can't tell a man to fuck off and then say he's your brother. Now, what makes you think I know how to turn back time? What do you mean by big time?
He's looking for signs of...
Are you mocking me right now, Runt? People think it's so easy being a lorry driver. Well...
The rumbling in your stomach says there's some...
You know, I get funny looks from people all the time. I know they're looking at my gut. I can see that. Big fucking deal. A guy put on a little weight. Who cares?
He's really got himself worked up now. Dangerous stores of pent-up emotion. He grinds a cigarette butt into the pavement and quickly lights another. In reality, there is no culture war, but there is a struggle for mating privileges. Always has been. And this man is outgunned and completely ill-equipped for this conflict. It starts with the genetic lottery. A few are born handsome, imposing giants, while most, like this guy, are just average. The less fortunate have only the most average survive extinction-level events. But there's a lot one can do with average, and this guy hasn't. Now past his prime, it's unlikely he ever will. While others dominate the killing fields, he will sink to the bottom of the mating. It's his defeatist, self-pitying mentality, a sense that the world owes. He isn't interested in evolving, improving, but the truth is, there's 100 million men like him competing for every single This really isn't about you, right? It's a vicious cycle he's unlikely to ever break. The lack of female affection makes him bitter. His bitterness, in turn, reduces his chances of gaining that affection. And maybe he wouldn't be such a bigot if he had found love sooner.
You still with us, Runt? Or are you just gonna stand around like a glue sniffer? That old people today, they only look at what's on the surface. These women, they all want a guy who looks like Kipty the...
Yeah. Who in their right mind would judge a book by its cover?
They don't care if you're a good guy. They're superficial creatures. That's just the truth. Hey, fuck you, alright? We're supposed to be the ones on top, not, you know. Time, yeah? Listen, man. Do you even understand how hard we've got it? How completely stacked the whole rotten...
He's not listening at all. Just circling the drain. The lorry man looks at you like he can't decide whether he wants to smash something.
No, I can't help you. Because you're a runt.
The lieutenant doesn't utter a word, but his face says, this fool is a colossal waste of time. There's no Kingsman inside him. Just...
Right, two.
Ya seguiremos con esto, porque creo que al Kisuragi no le hace mucha gracia. Aunque espérate. Vamos a mirar aquí dentro.
This found, the smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. A metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's an issue of, it looks like an art. These form
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before.
the pull-out toolbox. You close the rust.
Oh no. Fuah. ¿Qué más puedo hacer yo por aquí? Pues nada, creo yo que nada. De momento nada de nada. Vamos a chequear las casas estas de por aquí.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope... Nay, I haven't seen anyone lately. This is my little cinder block town.
She's being evasive.
There was a murder in Martinez. She might be a suspect.
Would you now? I know how this world works. And it doesn't work when people tell on each other. Ah, I should have known. This is yet another union mess. I'm not afraid of them, you know. We are not in the habit of being afraid around here. There's not much to tell. People come and go.
I see, ma'am. I hope you don't mind if we look around anyway.
You should look around your shack. Maybe she's rented it out to others too. As you look at the floorboards in this corner of the shack, it's clear the edge of a floorboard next to it looks hollow. Space underneath the floorboards is dark and damp. You can barely make out the mixture of sand and soot. Nothing particular catches your eye. You stick your hand in and start combing through the sand. Dry, not like outside. Fine dust. And then a small cylindrical object. You pull it out. The floorboard doesn't care. But maybe the washerwoman does. You have enough to confront her with. Holding the bullet, you get the feeling This isn't ammunition against you. It's for herself. On the table, you see a bowl of water.
Coordinación,
A rough
humano.
Our tenant, the policeman. Damn that girl.
But you didn't put it there, did you? She did.
Gone and hid things in there? She's usually a good tenant, and not a stupid one either. Yes, I let my room to that Ruby girl. As I've done before when she's been in trouble or just looking for solitude. I've made it clear. She came last Friday, left on Monday in a hurry. What has she gotten herself into? That girl.
She seems genuinely worried about her previous tenant. She's seen her hiding out from trouble before.
That's for the police to find out. Right then, please answer each question to the best of your ability. I'm sure we have a few.
Yes, early with the dogs.
She probably heard the lieutenant's Kanema drive by, and it woke her up, just like it did you.
Yes. That is a downside of having a 130 kilowatt engine. It lets the bad guys know when you're coming.
I cleaned it, like I always do. No. She's good company. Knows how to talk to an old woman. At my age, you don't get a lot of quality conversation.
Did she talk to you much during her last stay?
No, she was mostly silent this time. Kept to herself. She tried not to let it show, but I could tell she hadn't come to fish. Usually she likes to cast a few lines, but this time she mostly stayed in her room. How would I know? She's a gruff one, but not violent. She doesn't go around toting a gun.
You could ask her about your hunch, that it was a desperate measure. See if she thinks Ruby fits the bill.
Aye. Do tell. Exit from what?
The lieutenant stops writing for a moment.
No, she's a fighter.
Not a quitter, like you sometimes get, son.
Nothing of the sort. Sure, she was no stranger to the bottle. She fit in that way. But I only knew her to have a... She isn't what you call a drunk. Even offered me some from time to time. Said it was part of the communal life. But I never saw her, not that I know of, though she was into nice music. She once showed me a few mixtape millions she'd made. Although I guess she was pretty handy with the mechanical and technical stuff. I don't know. Further up the coast, she tried to leave quietly, but the hinges on that door screech like a cat in heat.
It's a peninsula.
You'll never find her, you know. She knows the coast like the back of her...
I wouldn't worry about that, man. We are persistent.
Yes, it's going to be too much work for you to find her. Better for you to stay here, get a nice cook.
The failed electric mural. You feel like you should go look at it again. Step closer this time.
What more do... Yes, one thing. She's a good girl. Whatever she's gotten herself mixed up in.
Aquí con la... Hey,
Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards.
I'll just keep the Corda Lacey in the channel, if that's okay. It's too shallow. Hi, ma'am. And it's suggested, of course. Hello, detectives. It's good to see you here.
What brings you here?
Nothing, really. I've had my eye on this jetty for weeks now, so I decided to investigate.
That. And she's also keeping an eye on you.
Spying has such a negative connotation. I did track your progress along the coast, however. Then there's the matter of that little scamp in old lady clothes. She threatened to paint the Cordelate red. Like blood, you see. Well, I like it the way it is.
What is this? Destruction of property? Hooliganism? Elder abuse? And who is this scamp, anyway?
No need. Lillian and I are getting on much better. For one, she appreciates the concept of rent. How do I like it? It's pornographically poor. The street has no name, all the men are dead or missing. And is that the carcass of a motor carriage over there? I'm surprised that woman hasn't put me to the sword yet. Maybe she will. You should ask your question.
Dark eyes survey the coast leading up to Martinez.
Fortunately for you, madame.
All right. Politics time. Real men, real politics, real thoughts in your head.
Oh, I'm not frightened, officer. I'd never...
Above you, there forms a quilt of altocumulus clouds, twisting into each other. Their cloud shadows slide over the ruins of Revachol West. Wherever they pass, the temperature drops slightly.
Do you know how they discovered this place? No, they're in Celindian, Isola. I'm guessing you don't know then. Well, your condition has left you no worse off than most of these people. The literacy rate is around 45% west of the river. 50 years of occupation have left these people in an oblivion of poverty. I knew you would sympathize. Most Revacholians will never know what this place means. Our home. This remind me to tell you one day. For now, how can I assist you in this new location?
Do we?
I hear you have singled out a suspect and are in pursuit. This is cause for cautious optimism. I would not want to delay. Maybe there is something else I can assist you with while you're hot in pursuit. Waves are beginning to die down. Look at those little bastards. Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all.
Un momento. Están llamando al porterillo.
quite odd. Our things are part of our life world. They're made with our human sweat and they share human history. We should care about them as we care about humans. To some extent, at least. Oh yeah? You won't even be able to get it out of the water before early June. And where are you gonna bury it? Who to invite? What music? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and...
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that is a pity. But for now, let's focus on the things we do get to do. Like the murder investigation, for example.
You like the Capri funeral idea? Winter, slow to let go of River. The snow falls lazily, making the beach sand paler still, mixing with the... And to think, it seemed as though it were... You're warm in your hat and your coat, like a... More winding coastlines lined with abandoned buildings, crumbling piers, the waters turn black, coal city in the shadow of San Martin. No more. The coal was supplanted by petroleum from the ocean floor, below the old mines. L'Océan Municipal, Rivershell's underground cemetery. The Petit Rat braved the underground passageways, trying to get to Le Royaume. where the Philippian kings were interred, with their doctors and their children under 14. They go underground, looking for artifacts after rubies, melchiorite, lapis lazuli, 2 kilometers. The more so, did some? How can it be pure if it's magenta? Snow falls, and there is no answer. Some things are not for mortals. Few patira return from the shafts. All around her, the canal you could. Someone is scraping snow off their windshield. At the roundabout, in the midst of which, like all monuments, a fenced-off yard, there's the abandoned church, its walls covered with hoarfrost now. A serpentine strip of land weaving its way into the Martinez Inlet. Unfortunately, the remain further out. Then there's Ozon, the Bay of Revachol, and at the far, the raised motorway. 8 was once a park, a place for reflection and recuperation. The pox is heavy drug use, a line of around you. The snow continues. The stairs descend. Snow all of this. A chill comes over you, crawling down your near. Snow falls into dark water. She prays, though she doesn't believe. That's all. Layer upon layer of sand, poisoned with industrial runoff. The storm drainage, hidden bunkers. Someone stuffed a big old polar anorak into a concrete pipe under the boardwalk. It would keep you warm. You would probably never happen across it. But who knows?
We should keep moving. Who knows when the snow will let up?
Actual art degree. Trite, contrived, mediocre, milquetoast, amateurish, infantile, cliché and gonorrhea-ridden peon to conformism. I fucked me. Affront to humanity. War crime. Should literally be tried for war crimes. Resolutely shit. Lacking in imagination. Uninformed reimagining of lip-wristed, premature, ill-informed attempt at talentless fuckfest, recidivistic shit peddler, pedantic list.
Abstracción cura pasivamente más 1 de moral y otorga más 10 de experiencia. Pero realmente... Vamos a olvidar eso. Voy a buscar un momentillo a ver cuáles eran las ideas realmente que eran buenas. Pues parece este la polla, según lo que me dicen, este está de puta madre, siento buen tidón. O como sea. Tengo otro nivel más. No. Ahora no puedo hacer zoom out tan vasto, pero me da igual, realmente me da igual. ¿Sabes? Vamos por aquí. Porque me han dicho que tengo que mirar este cartel de una forma más cercana.
You see, above the mural, a collapsed roof, broken windows set in walls that are cracking and will soon also. There's something in the wind. Sometimes the only way to go forward is to fail first. Indeed, somehow you knew it was here, an urban ruin gutted by looters that once used to consume money, and you felt it before when it rained in Martinez, and you felt the cold of the rain. The feeling
in there? She could. Or she could be in the identical ruin over there, or in that boat shack, in that church tower maybe.
Why single out this one building?
Un momento, escalofrío, vamos a ponernos cosas que no tengan escalofrío, ¿no? Esto te añade escalofrío. No hay nada más que me dé escalofrío. Bueno, y hay algo que me quita el escalofrío. Eso me da. Bueno.
The once bright mural towers above you. Even though you're sure you succeeded, all is quiet. There is no cold hand brushing against your forehead, no rustle in the reeds. The wind has died down. The ruin in front of you is silent as a tomb. Trying to talk to the wind, the city, whatever you thought would happen, did not. Is trying to talk to the city something you've done before? Is it in your secret repertoire? A trick for when you're out of ideas?
How do we? I was really hoping she'd be in the village. She's probably north of the village, and this place is a peninsula. We already scanned most of the outdoor areas on our wild cryptid hunt, so we have an understanding of the geography, at least. And then there's the church. We've already searched that and can rule it out. I know it doesn't feel like progress, but exclusion. Anyway, we do it the old-fashioned way, sector by sector. Go over the whole peninsula, ask the locals, enter the places where we can enter first, like we did in the village. Then, if we're desperate, we can look where we can't enter. Bunkers, storm drainage, this place. I'm sure it won't come to that.
Walk the coast, the old boardwalk, the reeds. You can always come back here and talk to the wind again. Look, buckle up and raise your collar. This search is going to be wet. Suddenly, there's a sigh, carried on the molecules around you, moving, flowing from high pressure to low pressure, like that of a woman emptying her lungs. She wraps the collapsing stone box in through the collapsed roof, flowing down a concrete staircase to the basement, sweeping away footprints in the dust on the stairs, and then the beach below the boardwalk, its winding tunnels, a whisper away.
She's down there.
Okay. Why? Good, good. Yes. Cold spells. So basically your hangover is telling you she's down there? So, how do we get in there? The doors were on the collapsed side of this building. They're gone, basically. Perhaps you can climb them. We are not climbing anything. I'm 43 years old.
There has to be a way to use brute force. Climbing sounds unsafe. Brute force is safe. Look around and find something to break if the...
Esto se quita un montón de forma física. Hombre.
An old pipe peeks out from beneath the rotten boards. A building like this must have multiple doors. So your eyes slowly begin to adjust. The lieutenant looks over your shoulder. A thin layer of snow gleams inside as your eyes adjust. You see some trash. Crumpled up newspapers, cigarette butts. Someone has half-heartedly spray-painted and nothing. Broken glass from bottles thrown against the walls of the pipe. A syringe.
Given that this isn't a martial arts thriller, it's highly unlikely, and not without risk to our health. However, the pipe suggests there may be an entrance to the basement around... And it's right here. A maintenance door.
Oh yeah. Big boy time. This needs you to put your... The metal doors are heavy, and the flaking rust hurts your palms. But, together with the lieutenant, you manage to slide them open just enough to squeeze in.
Good work. Shall we?
This isn't just glass. These are old computation components. Yes, filament memories. From the time when wires were casting glass, slides, the how was a closely guarded secret. Something that was locked in safes in human heads across the river where they were manufactured. As to why, your fingers don't know.
So it is. I think these used to form a single system, slotted in the wall. The rest of the building seems to have been picked clean. These? No. These are old filament memories.
A ver. Espera un momento. Espera un momento. Espera un momento. Vámonos de aquí un momentillo, ¿vale? Vámonos de aquí un momentillo porque... Primero de la parte de arriba nos podemos matar bien fácil. Aquí que hay lo de la chaqueta esa, ¿no? En fin. Vámonos aquí a la puerta de la iglesia porque me hace aquí un TP rápido. Quiero ver si nos da la pistola el Ebrard. Así que vámonos en un momentillo para allá. puedo hablar ahora con el container y eso.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer has not lessened since you were last.
Tengo que ponerme algo que me dé lógica, ¿no? No, lógica no, retórica.
You're back before the cargo container. Its drawer, and as it's always been, it's impossible to open a container with the rhetoric.
Vamos para acá adentro entonces.
Mr. Dubois, No, you didn't. I know the mailman, Harry. I know, just like I know you'll get it done. Once you stop... Yes, the little cul-de-sac. By all means, Harry.
No hay que mandarlo por correo. Me da todo el cuartón para nada ellos. ¿Y cómo se supone que tengo que hacer eso? Hostia, ¿verdad? Esto. Lleva basura al buzón de la plaza. ¿Puedo hacerme TP al sitio o no? ¿Qué va? Vale, vámonos por aquí. Aquí ya sí que me puedo hacer TP. No. Coño, eso ahí. ¿Dónde está el puto buzón ese? Ah, ya sé dónde está. Claro. El buzón al que le puede decir buzoncito, o pegarle patadas. Eso.
The dented yellow mailbox greets you with its graffiti.
Yes, for sending mail.
You drop the white envelope in the darkness. It lands with a soft thud on what probably did the right thing. You can't trust that slut Everard. You know he's going to play you some.
All right, let's go back to Everard. If we don't mention anything to him, you won't know before it's too late.
There is a hollow ring as you kick the box. Your toe has suffered damage.
Cool. You really showed that mail collector.
He does not actually think it's cool. If anything, the lieutenant feels sorry for the poor box. The lieutenant pats the box. Dodged the bullet there.
Pero la verdad que lo he hecho sin querer, pero como que le fastidia la operación a este tío que te cagas, ¿sabes?
Mr. Dubois, the golden boy returns once more. Wonderful. Simply wonderful, Harry. Of course. I already knew this. My friend, the mailman, confirms the letter is on its way. You've done a great thing today. You've given the children of Martinez a future and proven to be a true man of the left. I can finally trust you now. You're in my inner circle. You too, Mr. Kitsuragi. We can talk about anything. The strike, the murder, your lost gun.
Well done, sire. By guile and deceit, you're in. You don't know his full plan. Perhaps he expected trickery. Perhaps the signatures weren't important. The point is, do not think you're ahead of him.
Harry, by now you should know I would never do anything tricky like that. However, if the construction noise and limited street access makes some people consider, well, let's just say there'll be freshly renovated buildings near the roundabout where those poor people can finally enjoy a significant uptick in quality of life. I'm talking real affordable workers.
So the village is doomed.
You were there, you saw the place, a wasteland, there's nothing left. But mark my words, officers, we are going to reset it. Reset. I have big plans for Martinez, and they do not include humans living in those pig sheds on the coast. That land will be used for municipal Harry. Imagine a youth center, supermarket, church complex, employing hundreds, no, thousands of people. The coast will be lit up with enterprise and life. All those ruins out there turned into low-income housing. Harry, enough is enough. We're taking this district back. The war was 50 years ago, for God's sake. It's time to move on. Yes, I do. I got the center, I got room for a retail complex, and in 4 years, I'll get the church too. The wheels are already turning, Harry. The wheels of progress.
There is true indignation in his voice when he speaks about the state of things. And the pain is true. He's seen kids do worse than that.
Damn right I'm up to something, Harry. I'm gonna make the working man as rich as Joyce Messier. That's my job. Just like yours is to keep the peace. Harry, I've got to be honest with you. Your gun was found 2 days ago. Withholding this information weighed heavily on me. An old woman has it, and let me tell you, Harry, word on the street is she's a character. So
This must be the woman who bought the gun from Roy. The one he described as...
Yes, the same one. I see you've done your research. The pawn shop made the gun easy to track. Crazy stuff, Harry. Selling your gun like that? Wild. Anyway, the neighbors of this old woman contacted my men because they trust me and the Debarders Union. Apparently, she was waving it around at the entrance to her building.
Waving the gun around doesn't sound good. None of this does.
As I said, she's a character. I didn't have time for detail.
It sounds like a very...
Unfortunately, I don't know anymore. You're gonna have to go in blind, Harry. But she's an old lady. How dangerous...
There it is again. The pigs. Like Roy said.
Not I, for one, find it refreshing. Finally, someone calls themselves a pig.
It actually sounds extremely bad, but let's not give him the satisfaction.
I already have. Tonight, starting 10 o'clock, near the old fish market on the coast. The one on the boardwalk, a little past the fishing village. Be careful, Harry. I would never set you up for anything dangerous, but you did.
She will be there from
More fun stuff. Seems like we already have fun stuff to do.
Order it. You know my men didn't kill him. They told you. It was a happy accident. You know how it is. No one takes the initiative. If I wanted him dead, I would have had to do it myself. And I'm too fat for that. Glad you asked. I've got type 2 diabetes because sugar and fat was all my mother had to give me and my brother Edgar when we were kids. Good job too, as it made me ugly. And ugly people, Harry, are much better at politics. Why a war?
And what do you have?
Victory, Mr. Kitsuragi. I have victory to gain. We are going to start a war with the Wild Pines group and win before they even realize there is a war. Harry, we outnumber them 1,500 to 1, and that's just Martinez. With all the unions in Revachol, and with public opinion on our side, we can hold off 2 men, or 15 men. The more they send, the worse it's going to look for them. They made a huge mistake hiring those guys. No one likes foreign mercenaries. The leftists hate them, the fascists hate them, even the moralists think they're in bad taste. Harry, there is no strike, only war. Class war. Or, in business terms, a dawn raid. Or wait. Is that when you still pay them something? Because we're not going to give nothing. We're going to take Terminal B away from them. The roads, the gates.
So that's why you haven't let Joyce in?
Yes. It's also why I let that midget Gaumont go. He's too nice. I can't put him through this. Plus, he knows how to get in here. That woman can't tell her tits from her arsehole. She has no chance. Tits from her arsehole. It's a local...
Actually, no, it's not.
Because we're friends, Harry. Besides, it doesn't matter now. You can go tell her if you want. It won't change the course of events. It's already happening. No idea. Could have been his own mother for all I know. If you ever find the guy, give him a big fat kiss from Everard Clare. Could...
The guy, huh?
I don't. I told you it could have been his own mother. I'm pretty sure it wasn't anyone from the Union. Maybe it was the mob. Or maybe he killed himself because he was a closet socialist. Truth is, 2,372. Plus yours...
2,373 is a sizable contingent for a labor, and they're all well motivated. At least the ones you've seen.
Oh, you mean what sort of goods are going to be flowing through? How am I going to replace all the contacts we'll lose once the poo-poo hits the fan? The
clients would take a well-known multinational conglomerate over a local mobster any day.
Ay, todavía no se me ha desbloqueado como tal, ¿no?
Sure, some will go, but mark my words. The company will be unpleasantly surprised to see how many of them stay loyal to Martinez. And to the new, with renewed zeal sparked by communal ownership, the men will be shipping those containers double time. You'll be surprised to see how...
That's drug
trafficking.
Drug trafficking? Don't be stupid, Mr. Kitsuragi. There are perfectly legal, 100% ethical chemical factories on the Samarin Isola. All they do is produce components to keep the pharmaceutical industry running. That's people's health we're talking about. Old grannies, little babes, people with disabilities. The company thinks transporting these chemicals in bulk looks bad, has bad optics, may be illegal in some countries. The Debarders Union, however, we're all about the large volume column. We're gonna transport the living daylights out of those materials, Harry. So your sick kid can get his benefit, and your wacky uncle doesn't have to come off risperazole.
And the kids on the street can get speed and pyrrolidon.
I'm an old-fashioned guy, Mr. Kitsuragi. I sometimes grab a beer with the boys, but I have no idea about the things you just mentioned. But if I were to supply ingredients for some sort of rainbow party, I would make sure the Union took a fantastic share. And I'd keep that stuff far away from Martinez. Harry, if I was supplying raw materials to drug manufacturers, I would need an arm.
Understood.
Oh, Harry, you've misunderstood. I have no drugs in my hands. It's all far removed from me, like some half-remembered dream. Anyway, let's not focus on the sensationalism of the drug trade. This hypothetical drug trade is all anyone ever seems to be interested in. It would only be a small part of the harbor's turnover, just like the harbor is, but a small part of Martinez. Let's look at the big picture. Martinez as a whole. There are little girls out there with dreams of making music. Young mothers who I'm gonna unite them all into one economic body. We're gonna incorporate this place to Kingdom Come. Everyone—
Let's keep focusing on the drug trade. He was almost admitting to it.
No, Harry. That's boring. All right, it's gone. The hypothetical raw materials trade is off the table. It's such a small and boys. Harry felt queasy about it. We're not doing it. Can we talk about my beautiful incorporated Martinez and its many-sided business ventures now? This bold new vision of incorporated socialism I'm offering? Thank you, Harry. Thank you. You have no idea how much it means to me, because in many ways, you are that working man. You have already done so much work. We're way past specific union members now. This is the big time. We're talking about the— You can bother Leonard with that. Great, Harry, great. I think we've truly built a bridge between Martinez. This has been so great. I'm always happy. Very nice.
Vale, ahora sí.
Humpty Dumpty Dum Center. You're at home, stupid cop. Not with the art crowd. You hate them. Everyone hates them. Even they hate themselves. It's nauseating. An industry built on sprezzatura and sparkling wine. And, let's be honest, tax evasion schemes. The Humpty Dumpty Dum Center is the heart of this unholy symbiosis of aesthetics and tax optimization. And now that you've internalized it, you can have a piece too.
Vamos a subirnos el objetivo que acabamos. Entonces, la pasiva de enciclopedia otorga más 10 de XP y más 2 reales. Graduado en arte, te quita coordinación ojo humano, pero la atracción cura pasivamente la moral y otorga más 10 de XP. Eso es cuando llegamos a hacer cosas de atracción o de lo otro. Este tío tiene nada que decirme, ¿no?
Oh, hey, mister. I'm not gonna bother you with a— Mr. Evrat doesn't really want me to talk to people about Union. Mr. Edgar is Mr. Evrat's brother. He looks a bit younger, he does. But a very smart fellow. Very smart fellow indeed. He's away on some Union business. Not even in Revershaw, they say. All kinds of places he visits. Him and his brother both do when they're on a vacation. Right, left with the first autumn rains. He's a union man through and through. Good guy. He's very calm, laid back, doesn't do much, talks. Honestly, I don't know what he does for us, but it must be important because everybody likes him. Yes, they do. I think that's what he does. He makes everyone feel a little better. Whoa, he's really something. He doesn't talk much to me usually, but when he does, I don't really understand most of what he's saying. Actually, I don't think he would let me run. Once he said he's a dragon to this mob fellow who came picking a fight with some union men. I think he really believes Jean-Luc was a dragon because he ran right off. Another time he almost killed another guy, but I shouldn't talk about that.
That's precisely what he is. Everard's dragon.
Oh, Titus is a longshoreman through and through. He was born on a boat, they say. His veins are probably filled with salt water, I tell you. Nice, friendly sort of. I'd best not. I mean, I could, but I don't think Mr. Everard would like it very much. You better ask him yourself, mister. The night guard. Ooh, he's a peculiar fellow. He's the strong, silent type, you could say. We talk all the time, but I don't really know much about him. He plays petanque with my old human studies teacher, Mr. Martin, down at the plaza. I think he's the only fellow who actually knows old Renee. They lived on the same street their entire lives, even dated the same girl on and off for as long as I can remember. Strange fellows. Mr. Martin was always real nice to me in school. I remember once. Mr. Martin, yes. Don't really remember much about him. I was just a boy back then.
Vale, ya está. Vale. Ahora sí que sí podemos seguir con el día. Vamos a hacernos un toquecillo. Verdad, tengo que ver lo de la artesana de dados. Que al final me da un dado que me puede servir para bastante.
This orange machine is... You slip your finger. No. If you want to try again.
Equip the pry bar by going to the Tools tab in your inventory.
This orange machine is buzzing like an old submarine. It...
Forma física. Bueno, no tiene sentido ponerse eso. Realmente no tiene sentido. No sé yo. Nah. No hay nada realmente que me dé forma física.
This orange machine is buzzing like the ice squeak. You see.
Yeah, well, I have no idea.
Sooner or later, you will stumble upon a tool mighty enough.
Bueno, eso, lo que iba. Vamos para arriba, anda. Vamos a ver cadáveres también.
The bear's eyes are still glowing red. It's guarding over them. Your arms reach out and your eyes close, as if by their own volition. It's dark all around. You feel cold, slippery flesh, first with your fingertips, then his face, his cheeks, his nose, his fat, swollen lips. Like a spider, your hand crawls over his feature. The oral cavity is cold and moist. A ball-like tongue attaches itself to the base of the mouth, lolling around like a scallop. The tongue moves freely in the cavity. The mucus of the mouth is slippery, delicate to touch. From the soft meat, teeth are budding. Can you feel it? You're so close. Rip his jaws open now. A vision of black and dark red death, pried open by your naked hands and studded with teeth. Looks like he's laughing. Death fumes rising from the... You see a hole, barely visible to the human eye. It is swollen shut, almost vanished. No larger than 0.4 centimeters in radius. The edges appear dark. An abrasion collar. This is what we're after.
Abrasion collar.
A black trickle of liquid runs into his throat from the wound. Your index fits right in there. A tight tunnel of flesh opens up. Tissue damage. Wide enough for 2 fingers. As you push both in, you reach through his mouth, right into his brainstem. Yes, you've seen the drawings. You've studied them. The basal ganglia feels clumpy. The bullet has torn up the funk soul brother at the back of his head has gone dark forever. Your fingers slide into the remains of his limbic system. There is no resistance. It's gelatinous. The slug-like structures are damaged too. The tearing extends deep into both hemispheres. The lieutenant answers with the sound of his pen. Your fingers are all the way in now, reaching toward the inside of his skull. The cavity goes further, but the entry wound isn't wide enough for the rest. All the muscles in your body harden. Time to enter him. The cartilage is in with a crack, like some fruit. Just like that, your hand is in his head. Fluid streams down your wrist, and then sharp, serrated material. The edges cut. The pain is barely noticeable under the adrenaline rush. You pick the sharp metal bullet between your index and middle finger. With your face twisting from pain and concentration, all you need to do is just...
Good.
The inside of the head feels cold and smooth, like a glove. Sweat dripping down your brow. Careful with a plop. Your hand emerges from the mouth, covered in blood, up to the wrist. Between your fingers...
A bullet.
The bullet falls in the bag, leaving a smattering of blood.
A non-caliber rifle. Some kind of brittle alloy. Fractured on impact. Of course, you've earned it. We need to add an item to the injury list. Injury number 4. Oval entry wound with an abrasion collar. High velocity. Temporary cavity in brain tissue. Small exit wound on the occiput. How does that sound? Opinion, fatal injury. And one last thing. We should demand injury number 3, ligament mark. Treatment. It's obvious the Hardy Boys tampered with it. I had my doubts. There were no signs of a struggle on his hands. No claw marks on his neck.
His brow furrows, while his eyes glaze over. The lieutenant looks regretful for not figuring this out before.
Oh, you really do. I am glad to hear you say that. Your room in the Whirling in Rags should come with a bathroom. Be sure to make use of it in the evening. Yes, we should take a closer look at it. I am certain...
This little thing could reveal much about the...
We bag the corpse and carry him to the holding pen of my kinema. I can transport him to processing myself, but I will be gone. Work on the case. Tend to personal matters. Try not to do anything too dangerous. An officer needs backup. I'll leave that choice to you. And one more thing.
The word lingers in the air of the basement. Far away, ice cream makers are buzzing. Detective.
After you bag the corpse, Lieutenant Kitsuragi will leave the party until tomorrow morning. You can do side tasks and even...
Todavía no. Vamos a subir.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. Cast the speaker.
Good afternoon. Please repeat. Is this good? Good. I've unlocked the
Really? She just used the same password? Maybe those radio computer guys aren't that paranoid after all.
fortress accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Thank you.
Tiles on the cube are still smoldering. With a quiet determination, the printer starts printing. It's a project report written by the lead producer. The first few pages give an overview of the capital and workforce, while the rest of it seems to be a production schedule. In its short time of existence, Fortress Accident SCA managed to the first tranche of seed financing brought in 100. Eventually, the damage reached 400,000 real. 400,000 real. You're my yo. These guys knew how to pop. Let's just say it was a real adventure for their Igauni. Fortress Accident employed 18 people. The bulk of the team composed of writers and concept artists. They were all and a single overburdened producer who developed a habit of popping Pyrrolidon in the basement to escape his. But on the other hand, their obligations were piling up at an inhumane rate. A rate that could only be... Why did Fortress Accident have so many concept artists? It didn't. No, definitely not. A few more producers could have come in handy though, especially when dealing with writers, some of whom, one of them, even managed to steal some valuable company property before skipping town for good. The production schedule depicts their glorious descent into bankruptcy. Not the concept artists. It wasn't even the writers. It was impossible not to fail. The project was too large, and no amount of money could satiate the ever-expanding ambitions of the development. They tried to make a 4 million real game with 400,000 in there. They thought they could bridge the gap with pure willpower and imagination. They couldn't. No, you couldn't have. Definitely not. Not a chance. Even then, success remained within an ever-narrowing margin of possibility that, despite everything, that is, until they discovered the Valley of the Heads. At the 11th hour, the lead designer, Jimsk-born Sulisław Jalisa, decided that what this place was to be the Valley of the Heads, where the heads of all the headless constructs could be found. The player would have been able to choose a head for their headless party member, and each head would have been voiced on air by a professional actor. The world had never seen their kind before. So many. The last count, there were approximately 10,000 heads for 10,000 headless men, all of which could be endlessly recombined. Do you really want to know? There seems to be a calculation.
Entonces era...
lieutenant taps his foot impatiently. His arm. He's dying for a cigarette. Come. What if you broke the radio computer? What if it's never going to stop? Well, yeah, that and the catastrophic data loss. On the nature of the data loss, there's ominously little information in the production log. It comes at the very end, where things get fuzzy and dark, where tables and numbers seem. What is clear is that one day, an unidentified numeric anomaly occurred on the East Insulindian Lintel front, just as the Wirral Untethered project. When the project was returned, it was the team spent weeks on the phone with Lintel, the service provider. But despite their diagnostics, they could never produce a satisfactory explanation or pay for the loss. Mysteriously enough, it seems that the off-site copy happened to be on-site when the catastrophic data loss occurred. It was the lead programmer's responsibility to oversee weekly maintenance of the off-site copy and, well, keep it off-site. An explanatory note from the lead programmer, S. Luukinen Kilda, the lead programmer of Fortress Accident. The off-site copy was on-site because there was no off-site anymore. Not for me, not after 8 months. I didn't have a home anymore, so I started keeping it in the basement in the ice bear refrigerator near where I went to sleep. It was perfectly safe there. The temperature conditions were optimal. Her former colleagues would agree with you. The production schedule ends with a few random notes that seem to be added sometime later. 4 months later, by an unknown author. I am the only one left, and it's gotten rather damp here. A few other businesses have gone under, too. Slipstream switched to making skis, and the hairdressers just left, cursing Martinez. They're right, though. Some things still haven't got an answer from Lintel about what happened. All I could get were the physical coordinates of the error on the East Insulindian front on that day. Since the computation happened on air, I reckoned it had to coincide with an. I have compared the coordinates to a map of Revachol West. Turns out it's only 800 meters from here. The address is Saint-Brun 1147. I am going there to look this thing. Saint-Brun 1147? That's what the street sign. Tiles on the cube are still. The filament slides out of its glowing nest. The bullet is safely sealed away in a plastic bag bearing the RCM stamp. Kim has filled out the label on the bag with the item number, case number, and date and location the bullet was found.
What? Well, if I was the bullet, which I'm not, I would say find the weapon that shot me. If we find who owns it, we will have likely found who used it, possibly to kill. In conclusion, the more we know about this bullet of yours, the better.
The squashed bullet has some sharp edges where the jacket has split open. It feels cold, even through the bag. The jacket of the bullet is made of a yellowish metal. It has blossomed out to reveal a dark grey core. The base of the bullet is close to 5 mm. You can just about make out a few striations near the base of the bullet. Little hairline. It's quite destroyed. Some of the fragments.
What can you say about the bullet so far? A jacketed bullet. Okay. It would have been shot from a military-grade breech-loading rifle, not from a muzzleloader, like those typically found on the streets of Martinez.
We were right. This came...
Even the RCM uses ordinary unjacketed conical bullets. This is strange. Very strange. I like this, officer. Strange means unique. Unique means incriminating. We need to find the gun that shot it.
Un momentillo, coordinación ojo-mano. Hay algo que daba, creo.
The bullet is still safely sealed away in a rifle.
Mama.
Revolutionary period.
Hostia, eso sí
Your
tocho,
bullet
eh.
looks to be an old 4.46mm. From the surplus left over, the 4.46 caliber was widely used with the Belmargrave rifle, a Revacholian manufacturer. The BM dominated the battlefields of the Insulindian theatre of the anti-centennial revolution. No, but Zeliger, a major firearm manufacturer, ended up with a surplus after the war. So there are still a lot of these old military rifles floating around. Usually antiques enthusiasts, guerrilla fighters in distant countries, a few lucky jamrock back.
What are you thinking? Bullet? Okay. And? An antique. That makes sense. There can't be many breech-loading rifles floating around in Martinez, or anywhere in Ravachol, really. Sure, there's some arms trafficking, but the laws prohibiting the use of breech loaders we inherited from the monarchy have been... Some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons, but they realize it's worth it in the end. Imagine if everyone, cops, citizens, had access to firearms that could shoot multiple rounds without pausing to reload. After the first shot, the second, third, and so on come much easier. But back to the investigation. Doesn't seem that likely, but we'll check out all possible leads. Next, okay, and an antique. Sure, there's some new RCM recruits get impatient with their muzzle loaders once they've trained with military-grade weapons. Imagine if but back to the investigation. Mysterious. Okay. Either way, we'll know when we find the gun.
Hostia puta, tío. Creo que la hemos liado. Creo que la hemos liado que te cagas. Porque, bueno, ya que estoy a subir por el lado. Porque tenía un fusil de eso lo que están hablando y literalmente lo vendí.
Oh, it's you again. Are you looking for a die?
Aside from getting naked, you're not
Very good. That will be 7 real for one custom die. Here's the cursed die you ordered.
The phrases read, God is indifferent. Take all. Lose all. 50-50. Nothing happens.
It's a die. Try rolling it.
You throw the ball on the floor, and it ends with one of the phrases.
Good. Now roll again, detective.
It lands on exactly the same.
It's a sphere pretending to be a 6-sided die. Each roll will end with one of the phrases facing up. The die originates in Ilmara, where it was used, except I've weighted the die. When you try rolling it, you realize that each time it gets you exactly the same result. God is indifferent. This is our curse. Sorry, I don't have another one ready. You were the one who asked for a curse die. Good luck, officer.
A gust of cold air sweeps through the chimney. The stones and minerals on the shelves rattle as though agitated. For a moment, it almost feels as though you're outside the building, exposed to the atmosphere.
Didn't we already talk about this? What are you talking about? My address is exactly...
No, the old coal plant that used to be here was subsumed into the new venture. Its ruins swallowed up, yet it has a different address in the heart of the city.
This doesn't make any sense. Are you saying my business was spared because of a technicality? Where is this coming from? You're right. I should take a trip to the roof once. Does it mean that I'm safe from failure?
She starts laughing, her fingers trying to rub away the exhaustion from her face.
Do you know what this is? It's a mourning ring. I made this when my first company failed. It was a small jewelry shop right here in the East Delta Commerce Center, built with the little I inherited. I drove it into the ground within a year. I didn't have what you would call a viable business plan. It wasn't just the jewelry shop either. I always thought that it was just the world that you were supposed to try again and again until you... And now you're telling me what? That it was all because I didn't run my little shops and ventures from a dump inside an abandoned chimney? Yeah. Or maybe it's the entire world that's cursed. It's such a precarious place. Nothing ever works out. That's why people like role-playing games. You can be whoever you want to be, you can try it. It's like every time you cast a die, something disappears. But anyway, thanks for sharing your theories, officer.
Mundo precario.
Oh, it's you again. I'm sorry. I'm a bit overloaded just now, so I can only produce one die per customer. I'm sorry.
Ah, sirve con retórica, ¿no? Bueno, podemos volver a donde estaba la arma. A ver si encontramos algo.
A few bricks have fallen off, revealing a couple.
It means there are
He likes this fun.
Bueno, vámonos.
This coin-operated viewer is facing south. The metal feels cold and wet.
Probably some kids.
A simple but clever solution. This coin-operated viewer is facing south.
There was a They got as far as the street lamps and that statue on the intersection. We should have done something.
Your money the curtain, the lens, its leaves ripped from it by the winter wind.
Can you tell? From this?
It's not. The details are the little brave.
Aquí creo que hay una tirada que podríamos hacer con la niña esta.
Hello, sir. How is the investigation going? Found any curses yet? Oh, that's great! I hope exciting adventures lie ahead. And maybe you can help Mother become less afraid.
Bueno. ¿Verdad? Porque voy así vestido. En fin. Vamos a buscar eso entonces. Vale, vamos por aquí. Que por aquí realmente por donde se entra eso. Vale, vale. Y investigaremos la zona arriba. De momento no investiga esta parte de abajo.
A mustachioed and mutton-chopped man, amateurishly depicted, gazes at you with sad eyes. The plaque reads, "Years worth of dust is shaken." Someone crouches, heels digging into wet sand. Hands sweep across the sand.
Yes, I can see that. Looks like some communist work.
The lieutenant does not seem to share your enthusiasm.
Half a century? This was probably... I think the purpose of this bunker was to produce propaganda. We have found a lot of those lately. I guess what most people think of as history tends... I won't stand in your way, but only after we're through with this case. Millions of depictions of Mazov have been produced. They're not all connected. Besides, that looked like... You mean like Ruby? No, I think we've stumbled on a piece of history.
Vale. No, mira que hay huella.
There it is again, like a swarm of hornets buzzing under your scalp. A strange tingling you can...
No, what do you mean? I don't feel it, but we should still be careful. There were footprints back there, and I'm pretty sure they were fresh. No,
but it's not a quib. The situation, he trusts your gut feeling on it.
No, mira. Compostura y escalofrío.
entire body is paralyzed. Aggressive white noise fills your skull. A strange pain, like you've never felt before. Through the static, you hear.
I know you're feeling pretty uncomfortable right now. Don't move too much or fight it. That'll can't say it's a pleasure, officer. I was really hoping not to make your acquaintance.
As she says the word, officer, you feel a spike in the agony. It sounds like the entire radio frequency range. No, buddy, that's not going to help. You can't shield yourself from this. It's an entirely new type of experience. Don't focus on the pain. Focus on doing your job. Tell her she's under arrest.
Really now? Check this out.
You're overwhelmed with a new surge of violent static. It feels like a blood vessel exploded in your brain.
I'm using a pale latitude compressor. You and your part...
The explosion of static you're hearing. It's the blasted from that pale emitter that Angus mentioned.
Saw my equations? You've been sniffing through my lorry, right? I expected as much. I am a bit surprised you knew what you were looking at. A pale latitude compressor is used to sort of make the pale more manageable. With a lot of these, you can force a radio signal grid on the pale. Literally crunch the distance. Signals are relayed across a series of repeater stations fixed to buoys. Not a fun job manning those stations. All alone out there in the pale, people lose their minds in just a few years.
So, what we are experiencing is a concentration of radio waves.
Precisely. This is an industrial strength paraboloid. It's meant for forcing dimensions on something that doesn't have them. At the upper limit is the large prime number generator station. It's used specifically for pale latitude compression. That's why you may be hearing some numbers. But you might also hear or think you're...
She likes telling you about the machine. Keep her talking. Look for an opportunity to break loose.
The pale? It's the end of the world. I built it myself.
That's illegal. I'm guessing it's patented. But we are beyond that, aren't we?
Oh yeah. Way beyond. No. Once I shut down the compressor, the pain will end. It may take a few minutes for you to... Yeah, I stuck my head in there before using it on you. It seemed like the ethical thing to do. Can't say that I enjoyed it. The field was weaker, but I can imagine what you're going through. Yeah, let's not talk about that shit. You were hunting me and fell into my trap instead. That's all.
So she thinks of you as hunters, not the cops, and of herself merely as prey.
If you've got something really important to say, you can do...
Damn this!
God damn it. Fine. If you really want to talk, I can dial it down. I've also got a gun, by the way.
Well, it doesn't feel much better, but you can form sentences now. Thinking doesn't seem to hurt as much.
I heard you in the passages, and I've been preparing for quite a while. So, you found my shack, huh?
Her tone is bitter. She thinks she's been betrayed.
So nice. That's one knife I didn't want to...
As opposed to the other knives she's finding there now. Hardy for one.
This could have turned out pretty bad for me if you hadn't walked right into 25 bands of...
That's her admitting the bullet wasn't...
No, I didn't do it. I only helped stage the lynching, though I doubt that makes much of a difference.
So she says she didn't do it. And she doesn't trust you. Is it you specifically?
Who ratted me out, by the way? Was it Titus? No, he wouldn't have broken first. Oh. Well, I guess I always knew she was a survivor, but she couldn't have known I was on the coast. How did you find me? My boys? What? I don't even understand what— Oh, doesn't even matter. How could they be my boys when they're not even my friends?
A dull despair.
How the fuck do the rest of you get by? I did, didn't I? Now you've come for me.
That did make her forgive them. A little.
Like what? I already told you I didn't do it.
A strong moral compass. She still wants the opportunity to make a case for herself.
I didn't like him. Hardened mercenaries aren't particularly likable types. You think I was envious of his conquests? Look,
See her confident gaze.
Yeah, sure. And
She didn't hate it. Oh,
plenty of broken people who don't come with that kind of— I'm listening. Man, I was with the boys the whole night. I hope they at least bothered to impress that upon me. You mean the length of a toilet break? That wouldn't even have been enough time. Wow. Now I'm curious. Please, explain. Don't know it, but also— the shot couldn't have come from the roof. Or we would have all—
She has a point there. No one mentioned.
that didn't go super well. You've got to lay something better on her.
And? The gun store. Trigger Happy Jacks. What did you think? That I'm going to squeal on my gun supplier? Sorry, I'm not that kind of gal. No, they're not practical. Break too often. A knocked way 80 front loader. 2-barreled.
That isn't it.
Yeah, evidence. I considered her a good friend, yeah. What the hell, man? Yeah, why not? I've gotten worse. Oh, so that's where you were going with this. That's a very sentimental way of putting it. We both had pasts we didn't want to catch up with us. And we enjoyed listening to music together. Why not go on a road?
The lieutenant watches her expectantly.
Okay, fine. I was into her. Clausy was into me too for a time, I know it. We even fooled around once. And yeah, after that I thought maybe we could make a go of it. She does know how to pick 'em. She rejected me with some wishy-washy bullshit about how she was confused because she felt so close to me. And I knew that wasn't the whole story, but thought, fine, I'll take—
No ill will there. It wasn't a problem for her.
Yeah, one time when we'd both been drinking, I said some heated things. I was a little worried she'd blow it out of proportion in her head. All the drugs she was doing can make you feel like you're living in a— Yeah, the girl seemed terrified. Go ahead. It's your—
And mine too, he thinks. But keep on. This must be done.
Who doesn't? Oh, you probably mean Claudia's rooftop. Sure, I've hung out there. She's got this great antenna. The view's pretty bomb, too. But you might say the antenna was the main attraction there. It's very powerful. I used it to tune into RCM frequencies. That's how I knew to be prepared. Yes, I'm sure. And anyway, as I said before, the shot had to have come from afar. No. Gifts of flowers and candy aren't really my style. So now I'm leaving revolutionary symbols around? Come on. I never did understand why, when someone dies, a hothouse's worth of flowers has to die too. No, I did not. So, Heart of Gold Tommy fucked me over too. Never trust a musician.
That really comes as a blow to her.
Okay, great. You got into my lorry on your own. What now? You're going to arrest me for drug trafficking?
Beneath it, she's relieved Tommy didn't betray her.
Man, it's to get away from all that murderous shit that I left Jamrock.
She deliberately avoided naming the mob she worked for.
I got lucky being a dispatcher. Never had to do any of the really dirty work myself.
There, it's going to be easier to reach the machine now.
Based on what I've heard about you, you are serious scum, yeah?
More questions before doing anything.
Va, momento. Momento. Vediamo. Oh, sneakers.
How should I know? As I keep saying, he already had a bullet in his head when I...
Police radio? You've been...
Who hasn't? You know, I can still see him there, in Claus's room. He was still warm, but the bluish light coming through the broken window made him look as though he'd been dead for a good long while.
She eyes you warily. She's refusing to adopt the demeanor of a cornered animal, a leader with no one to lead. She still wants to retain some control of the situation.
It's okay. We just want to...
All right, don't kill yourself over it. I was shooting the shit with Hardy and the boys over a few beers, like always. Then Klasia comes in, all pale and shuddering. She sits down with a drink, trying to steady her nerves. So I grab a seat next to her. No, I really didn't. She's not that easy to read. I just assumed she'd done too much blow. It wouldn't be a first for her. She asked me to come upstairs. The merc she'd been going with was lying on the bedroom floor, dead. I knew she could...
You made it look like he'd been hanged.
What? No. Faking a lynching was her idea. Yeah, in cold blood. It really surprised me how quickly she was able to get a hold of herself once we got
por
over
esto
there.
exactamente la
It was
tengo
like she was
citada.
another person. The party girl was gone.
Por esto exactamente la tengo citada. A la policía, que lo sabía que iba a encontrar a la tía esta y iban a decir, no, que al final la rubia. Y iba a decir yo, mamá, ahora se ha escapado,
She
tal.
asked me to help her drag him into the shower so she could wind the shower head around his neck. To fake lividity. Then
Glacia knew exactly what she was doing. You can't remain calm under pressure otherwise.
Yeah. I wasn't sure whether to admire. As I keep telling you cops, we didn't hear anything downstairs.
But even if this is true, weren't you worried this lynching might lead to...
War? The thought crossed my mind. But the mercenary's death was going to have repercussions either way. Fuck it. I'm not responsible for these people after what they did to me. I saw you roll into town. I wasn't about to stick around for questioning by a goddamn La Puta Madre agent. Yes, you. Everyone says you're his peon.
Through the sudden sharp pain in your head, you hear the... It's especially bad. Felt like a vein exploded.
Everyone in Jamrock. The cops, the criminals. Why do you think I'm holed up in here with a goddamn death?
If she knows that about you, she must know your real name too.
Harry Dubois. One corrupt motherfucker with a disco pants and a funny tie. Agent to La Puta Madre.
So she knows your name. That doesn't mean you're on the tape. Criminals make up bogeyman stories about cops. All of this just means that you're effective. Criminals know you and are scared of you.
Is that a joke or a threat? I'm guessing both. Of you? No, not really. You've been to my lorry. You think the biggest player in Jamrock appreciates competition? Now I have Harry Can Opener in my lair.
I thought we had an agreement, she thinks. This was not... Wait, one thing. Possibly small, but she said you rolled into town. Was that you singular or...
Yeah, you had your death squad with you. What happened to them anyway? Sure you do. I bet they're just outside waiting. I guess I'll take my...
She'll go out in a hail of bullets if she has to.
Well, it wasn't this scrawny dude. You had two guys and a lady. The guys looked pretty buff. Lady wasn't bad either. One of the guys seemed chipper, a blonde. The other had a brooding something or other about him. And the woman, that sound about right?
No idea. Satellite Officer Vic Blair looks out of the window grimly, then puts his coffee down and turns to Patrol Officer Miller. We can either take a room. Let's go home, John. Nothing's going to happen today, she responds quietly. John takes his blonde wig off. Call Heidelstein. He can give us a ride.
Fantastic. I've got to get on the road. Then you can go find your friends. Unless you have anything pressing. What bunker? Don't know anything about it. No one's been around since I set up camp. But I'm sure I'm not the first vagabond.
You've got to act soon. This is getting bad.
No, ha salido mal. Es verdad que ha salido mal, tío.
violent white noise becomes even more overwhelming closer to the compressor.
Officer, are you okay?
The pain in...
What are you doing? Look, I know this isn't very fun for you, so tribunal. Now they're gonna put on a and you. Watch out for yourselves. You seem to have a habit of walking into traps. I'm guessing you don't know that a third mercenary has come to town just in time for the tribunal.
A third? Ah.
As I said, watch out.
The pain is becoming unbearable now.
Glad to have been of assistance.
The woman runs past you and disappears into the darkness of the tunnel.
Sinceramente. Lo siento mucho, chavales. Voy a cargar la partida. Porque esto ha sido totalmente injusto.
It's you again. Are you...
Registra toda la mierda de la bala y tal. Sí. Incluso he interactuado con la bala.
The bullet is still safely sealed.
Pues ya está. Hay que buscar alguna forma de hacer que el tiempo pase. Y historia, no sé qué cosas me faltan para
You see
hacer.
a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out as you tap.
No, that's enough fun with the foldable headlight.
A metallic drawer, the pull-out toolbox.
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? 57.
In the cabin.
A ver, leyendo libros podemos hacer que pase el tiempo.
The display rack. This is entirely, completely you.
Gracias, dolor.
Shelves filled to the brim with crime fiction. These books further what's not a single mention of all you see. A killing is declared. Oh no. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart. Shelves full of biographies of famous people, whoever they are. This bookstore is not strictly about crime, romance, and biographies of famous people. There's also a wide range.
I can't have you end up, like, opening a police station.
The throbbing in your head increases with every pump. Suddenly, as if out of nowhere, a small green book becomes apparent. The book contains very little explanation on the matter. The book contains descriptions of various pseudo-scientific therapies, alternative medicines, and folk remedies. For example, it recommends vigorously swatting one's naked body with a venik or hand broom. Even better if you can find someone else, preferably a large man dressed in nothing but a towel, to thrash you while you're spread naked and helpless on a cool. It is supposedly invigorating and good for the circulation. It also recommends consuming distilled spirits like vodka or whiskey that have been aged in the pail. Readers are instructed to cover among other benefits, it is alleged to restore. That seems probable. For general health and well-being, readers are encouraged. These strolls promise to cleanse the mind of worries and the body of toxins, especially if there's an entire section devoted to cures for men who are struggling to perform their marital obligations. You close the book and return it to its place on the shelf.
Indeed. Something about that book does seem to have spoken to you. Well, I hope it contains what you're looking for.
Medicinal purposes of the pearl. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on the general benefits of the pearl. A large pharmacopoeia makes up nearly half. You come across the following explanation. While modern pharmacopoeia are continually updated by so-called experts based on the results of clinical trials, readers will find assembled here the timeless. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that may be gathered from the pearl, as well as instructions for producing a variety of herbal remedies. There are a number of zeolite tonics that promise to improve your... What you're describing is booze. You don't need any herbs for that. There's nothing in here that speaks to hangovers directly. However, while browsing through the various descriptions, you become convinced that you could assemble something from the ingredients listed here. First, you need to choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The tincture you've invented sounds intriguing, but its medicinal value is suspect. Whoever wrote this never heard of the hair of the dog. Fuck this book. See if there's a bar open that'll... Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to combine the base ingredient with an appropriate vehicle. Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? The tincture you've invented sounds intriguing. Whoever wrote this never... Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a base... Next, you'll need to combine... Lastly, is there anything else? The tincture... Whoever wrote... Would you like to try again? Very well. First, choose a base ingredient.
Qué bien. Sí.
Next, you'll need to combine... Lastly, is there anything else you'd like to add? You've created a delicious tincture of whiskey and ginger. According to the pharmacopoeia, it should increase your energy and focus, though, in your experience, it's only done... If only you could find one of these right now and drink the shit out of it. The book said it's good. Would you like to try again? Very well. Next, you'll need... Lastly, you've created a if only... Would you like to try again? You close the book and find yourself staring... Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need. Lastly, you've created a if only. Would you like to try again? You close the book. Flipping through the book, you find a number of sections on. You come across. It seems to contain descriptions of the medicinal properties of various ingredients that make the tome. See, flipping through. Have you taken any walks through the Pearl recently? The book is frustratingly vague on this topic, but it seems that if you've walked through the Pearl, you would know it. Very well. First, choose a base ingredient. Next, you'll need to come. Lastly, you've created. If only. Would you like to try? You close.
Paso completamente, sinceramente paso.
Several maps. The maps look old. Shelves full of biographies of famous people. Shelves filled to the brim with crime novels featuring the supposedly stalwart Vespertine.
Cada vez que miro el libro, aunque ya haya hecho la conversación, va pasando el
Medicinal
tiempo, porque
perks.
si no me
Very
pongo a
well.
hacer así.
Next, last, you've created. If only. Would you like? Very well. Next,
Sí, pues,
last,
sí,
you've.
pues, sí.
If would very. Next, last, you've created. If would you very. Next, last, you've. If would you very. Next, last, you've created. If would you very. Next, last, you've created. If would very. Next, last, you've. If would very. Next, last, you've. If would very. Next, last, you've. If would very. Next, last, you've created. If only. Would you like to try again? You close the.
Vale. Vale, voy a recuperar mi arma que por lo que estamos viendo es bastante importante para, para la sucesión de cosas que nos van a pasar. Así que nada, vamos para allá. Aquí está la iglesia. ¿Dónde es exactamente que voy a quedar yo con esta tía? Tengo que chequearlo. En el paseo marítimo, antes de la aldea pesquera. Estoy ahora mismo en el paseo marítimo. Aquí no hay nadie. Está la pilla esta ahí yo. Yo tengo que verlo de noche, yo no puedo verlo de normal. Estoy viendo dónde es exactamente, porque la verdad es que no me entero. Justamente debería estar ahí arriba. Me están diciendo. Debería estar literalmente aquí. Por la cara no está humeado. Pues nada, chavales. No podemos recuperar algo, parece. Vale. Me han dicho que haga, que salga de dentro de la iglesia. Si no, pues tendremos que cargar la partida de nuevo. Tengo que cargar la partida yo. Y tengo el libro.
This bookstore is not strictly about you sense something ominous emanating.
No hace falta comprar libros y ya tengo uno. Puedo poner una spameada de esto hasta que sea la hora. Vamos a meternos aquí mismo. Mira, en vez de perder tiempo con el libro, vamos a hablar.
Yes, what is it? What? No.
She has not seen her, sire. It is true. The mother of humanism stands above you, a precious and complex wax painting on a single pane of it's a mist. All you know is, this is the jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, there was an older, unknown, something during the raid the lieutenant mentioned, or just hooligans looking for something. The escutcheon on her throne says, Irene the Navigator. She is depicted as an older, small figures of wise men, common men, worship. Below both women, in luminous black letters, and then along the left side, après le monde, la gré, après le gré, le monde de nouveau.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. After the pale, the world. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We already suspected of bootlicking. The sentence was also seen as too feminine. It was a macho thing. Justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you.
Vamos a poner un libro aleatorio, ¿no?
The library card. Billy is a most of these.
No, esto no va a hacer tiempo, tiene que ser un libro más interesante.
The note is written. Someone you find
looks like someone. That's a plausible hypothesis. Looks like some. That's a. Looks like 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 that's. Looks like that's a. Looks like that's a plausible. Really? Oh, I'm sure that
someone has. You find the Philip.
Tampoco avanza el tiempo.
A cockatoo is a. This book talks about where to eat pet owners. It is not recommend. You're right, not great. You're right, not. You're not great. This is a yellow. Where to eat pet owners. Or it is not recommend. You're right, not great for the. Where to even begin. Pet owners. It is not recommend. Where to eat pet owners. It is not rec. Where to even pet owners. It is not recommended to get a. Where to eat pet owners. Or it is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. Or it is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. Or it is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. Or it is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. Also, it is not recommended. Where to eat pet owners. Or it is not recommended to get. Where to eat pet owners. It is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. It is not recommended. Where to even begin. All cockatoos, pet owners, or it is not recommended. Where to even pet owners. It is not recommended. Where to eat pet owners. It is not recommended to get a cockatoo.
Vale, supuestamente justo ahora debería de funcionar ya. O sea, salgo yo aquí tranquilamente. Subo por aquí. Y debería estar aquí Ahí está, ahora sí.
Put your hands where I can see them.
Show me your hands. This is the pigs. Show me your hands. Right now!
Scavenged.
Boy.
Battery-powered police lights protrude from her back. The flickering light show reveals a gun in her shape. Her hand is trembling from some sort of neurodegenerative disease.
Madame, please drop the firearm immediately.
Failure to comply. Suspected, I am the police. Don't move. Don't move. Hands on your head. Suspect is armed and dangerous. Lateral vascular neck restraint. Carotid sleeper.
Be careful, detective. Don't do anything that might...
You have to go for the gun sooner or later. Perhaps you can learn crucial facts before you do.
Officer in need of assistance!
Ma'am, please. We want to help you, but you need to lower that weapon.
Disturbance reported. Authorize...
What happened? Yes, sure. But also, if the woman looks at you. But sometimes...
This is the police!
So that's how Kuna West must have felt when you pointed the gun at her.
Fascinating. See? This is what happens when we are not around.
It's a goddamn police shitbag. Off the pavement. You're under arrest.
We can't leave. A delirious civilian is pointing firearm at us. Your firearm. You need to solve this.
Back up! Back up! Back up! Status unconfirmed!
I do? Gareth? No,
Aggravated assault! Man down! Suspect!
There's a scenario unfolding in her head right now.
What's the situation, officer?
Law enforcement compromised! Impersonating a police officer!
Does she not believe you two are actually police officers?
License and registration! License and registration! Come in, dispatch!
It's not a code, just disjointed words. She's frantic, confused, teetering. Host almighty, don't count on that. You saw the Bino Cloud can't shoot for shit. Sure, you're you, but how do we end this? She's not just gonna let you leave.
Suicide by cop! Split-second decision! Eat lead, scumbag!
Oh my god.
For a moment there.
What is this? This isn't police issue. Police weapons. Police guns. Others have bullets. What is this? Why did you sell me?
She looks. Grab the gun. Right now. This might be your own.
No one ever cares.
Poor woman. We need to figure out what to do with her now.
Nobody's ever around. Nobody ever comes.
Her scratched skin is warm to the touch, but the person inside doesn't even know you're there.
She's in a stupor. I've seen this before. God knows for how long. Could be days when they get like this. Honestly, I don't know. Dementia, probably. Dementia and Channel 8 and loneliness. Could be. Her hands were trembling. I don't think there's any need for that. In her current state, and without... We could let Titus know. This is a perfect problem for the local peacekeepers to handle. They might even know her family. That would just be a waste of paper. I mean, then we can ask him once we get back to the... But I think we're done.
Please, leave the radio on.
Reflex to what? She stands.
En fin.
Holding the gun feels natural and satisfying. It's like an extension of your arm. The polished wood, it reminds you of the day you first held it, with fear and respect. Hoping you don't... A Villiers 9mm pistol.
Bueno, voy a hacer una cosilla entera. Hasta aquí se ha acabado, chavales. Hostia, no he guardado. Bueno, si eso luego continúo por mi cuenta y vuelvo a donde estábamos.